Welcome to practice today. Sitting on a block between your ankles on the lowest, widest setting. You could also stack two, one on top of the other if you need a little more height. Keep your strap or your hand towel nearby. Place your hands, palms down on your thighs, and please close your eyes for a moment. Embarking upon this journey of pregnancy can be a lot like stepping in the ocean. You approach the water slowly wading in, sometimes never sure when a wave might knock you down. Sometimes you'll keep your head above water, swimming along with swift and sure strokes. Other times you'll surrender, just letting the waves wash over you. Today in practice, really falling into this idea of water as we move through flow. Really one breath per movement, nothing too rapid, but really a nice free and easy flow, surrendering to the rhythms of our body, surrendering to the rhythms of nature. So take a deep breath in. Let the breath go. Find your strap or your towel. Hold it in the hands, wider than shoulder width apart. Bring your arms overhead and let this tightening of the strap guide you into a soft back bend. Then start to bend, nice and easy, side to side. Letting this movement get into all the nooks and crannies, all the tight spots. Perhaps you start to take it into a bit of a circle. Just make sure you go both ways. And then pause in the middle, come back to your easy back bend. And as you exhale, release your arms down. Now take the strap behind you, same thing. So you'll grab the strap or the towel. This time it can be a little more narrow. And then as you pull the strap tight, bring the arms away from your lower back. Breathe into that opening and widening of the collarbones. So good to open space for breathing. Breathing brings in circulation. Circulation brings in life force and vitality. And then lower your arms down, put the strap to the side. From your seat, reach your arms overhead. They feel a little loose and light, don't they? And as you exhale, twist to the right. So left hand comes toward right thigh, and then the other hand comes behind you. You could push the hand down into the block if you're not sitting on both, or you could push your hand into your lower back, right around your sacrum. Then inhale, come to center, reach up, and as you exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. And now I invite you to close your eyes as you continue with this movement. And move your arms like you're moving through water. So there's a bit of resistance, but there's also a bit of support and that sense of being carried. Navel stays facing forward for the most part, and the twist is really just coming from the rib cage and the shoulders. And the next time you end twisting to the left, let that be your last one. Then inhale through center, interlace your fingers, exhale, press your palms toward the ceiling. Now breathe in, bend the elbows, flip the hands. And as you exhale, press the backs of the hands toward the ceiling. Inhale, bend the elbows, flip. Exhale, press through the palms. Inhale to soften. Exhale, press through the backs of the hands. Hold here. Squeeze your fingers together and try to pull them apart. Release your bind. Look up between your hands. And as you exhale, circle your arms down and around so one hand comes to heart and one hand comes to belly. And for this practice today, I'd like you to check in. Ask yourself what this practice is about for you today. What brought you to the mat? The answer could be physical, spiritual, emotional, all of that, none of that. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, transition over to hands and knees. Put one block near the back of your mat and one block near the top of your mat. Of course, feel free to pad your knees with your blanket as needed. Tuck your toes, shift back to an elevated child's pose. And as you breathe in, come forward to plank on the knees. Exhale back to child's. Toes are tucked, so we're activating the soles of the feet and the channels in the legs. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale back, perhaps closing your eyes as you rock forward and back, knowing that baby feels this easy rocking, so sweet. You can stay with this today depending on your energy levels, or if you wish, you could come back to downward facing dog. The inhale would take you forward to plank, and the exhale back to downward facing dog. We'll do 5 more of these. And then last one, come back to downward facing dog if you haven't yet, and we'll take just 2 or 3 breaths here. Then walk your hands back to your feet, widen your stance. Bring your hands up to your thighs and pause here. Then grounding down into your feet, slowly rise to stand. Reach your arms overhead and bring your arms down by your sides as you walk toward the top of your mat. With your feet about hips width apart, inhale into chair, hands to prayer. Exhale, rise to stand, squeezing into the legs, really activating. Inhale into chair. Exhale, mountain pose, arms down. Keep flowing. Inhale, chair. You might even figure 8 the arms. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, chair. Exhale, stand. Now adding on, inhale, chair. Exhale to stand. Lift the left knee up and in. Balancing here. And then stepping the left foot back to warrior 1. You don't have to step very wide front to back during pregnancy by any means, but you do want to step wide side to side and just create a good base for balance. Extend your arms overhead and then keep the arms moving back and take some big circles into the shoulders. So forward, up, and back. Again. And once more. And then interlace your fingers behind you, roll your shoulders up and back, lift your chest. And then release. Turn your back heel so you're in a wide lunge. And then step your back foot in. Lift your right knee up, balance. And step your right foot back to warrior 1. Find your footing, find the ground. Sweep your arms forward, up, and back. 4 more rounds. And find this balance between a little bit of resistance in the arms, but also that sense of floating through water. smoothing out any rough edges. With your arms down and back, interlace your fingers, roll your shoulders up and back, lift your chest. And then with your hands on your hips, turn your back heel so you're in a lunge. And then take a big step in, standing on 2 feet in mountain. Inhale into chair. This time reach your arms forward so your gaze comes down. And then exhale, arms come open and out, almost like wings. Inhale, arms forward like chair. And then exhale, open. Sweeping the space around you, inhale, bend. Exhale, open. Let's do 2 more. Feeling the wind on your arms as you move. Pause. Then take a big step back with one of your feet, depending on which way you want to turn, facing the long edge, one of the long edges of your mat. Turn your left toes out, come into warrior 2. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale as you flow through 2, you'll exhale forearm to thigh, top arm over the ear. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale reach. One more time. This is less about alignment than it is about this free and easy movement. Then inhale, come up, straighten the left knee. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, rise through center. And then exhale, triangle pose, hand to shin. So if you feel like you need your block here instead of your shin, you'll find that now and put it in place. Then root through the legs. Inhale, come up. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale through neutral. Exhale, triangle pose. Again. Let's pause here. Take this top arm, reach it back behind you, and press your hand into your lower back, rolling the top shoulder up and back. Extend the top arm back up toward the ceiling and root down through the feet to come all the way up. Reposition your feet so you're facing the other end of the mat. Bend the knee, warrior 2, then exhale, reverse. Flowing through just like we did on the first side. Free and easy movement, so good for replenishing our energy reserves. So good for moving out any stagnation. So good for revitalizing. One more like this. This time as you inhale to come up, straighten the knee. Exhale back, reverse triangle. Inhale through. Exhale, triangle pose. Get your block if you need it. Inhale to neutral. Exhale, reach back. Keep flowing through this side. Keep your eyes steady. Let's do one more full round. And we'll pause in triangle, reaching up through the top arm. Then take this top hand behind you and press into your low back, like right above your tailbone. Roll the top shoulder up and back and just nestle a breath into this top inner shoulder, any tightness in the chest. And then slowly come all the way back up. Heel toe your feet together. And then find both blocks, place them near the top of your mat. And then step back from the blocks just a few inches. Widen your stance. Bounce a little bit into the knees and just stay pretty light and fluid, pretty buoyant in the body. Then from here, before we come down and use the blocks, bending into the knees, reaching down and scooping action, and then reaching up strongly through the hands and the arms. We'll do this several times. Bending and scooping, and then releasing on the exhale. So I'm kind of shooting up through my hands from my legs. Inhale to scoop, and then inhale. Inhale. Exhale. So keep going with this. And whatever it is you feel as though you're scooping up, know that at the top, you get to release that. So whether it's doubt or fear, or it's somebody else's voice you have in your head, with these last few rounds, feel free to put a ha at the top. Ha. And let it be as loud as you need. Know that that sound is very soothing and healing, breaks up any stagnation. Let's do one more here. Pause here, as though your arms are just suspended in water. The wrists are soft, the fingers are soft. And then just let the arms drop. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale and fold forward, hands find the blocks. So we're in really a halfway lift for our fold. Let's stay here. Now take the blocks with you and walk the blocks over to the left about 6 inches. So one of my blocks is off the mat. The other one is almost off the mat. Encourage your outer right hip back as you lengthen your right rib cage forward. Really getting into some of those big ropey muscles in the lower back. Stay grounded through your feet. Walk your blocks back in and over to the right. And this time we encourage the left hip back, left rib cage forward. You can soften your neck a little bit. Look more down than out. With 2 more breaths here, root down into the feet. Really activating the power of your legs. Then bring the blocks back to neutral. And here, stepping left foot back, keep the right foot forward. The back heel is off the ground, as though you're in a lunge. Bring the blocks in a little closer. Come up onto your fingertips. So it's a wide pyramid pose. Back heel is not grounded, it's up and it's buoyant. Just giving a little more space for the low back with that elevation. So here we rock forward and back. Inhale into lunge. Exhale into pyramid. Inhale to lunge. And then exhale to bow. Close your eyes now that you've got the movement. And just see if you can fall into a rhythm here that feels like yours. Pause and lunge. Root down through the sole of your right foot. Receive a full breath in. And as you exhale, now ground the back heel. Then bring your right hand to your right thigh. Inhale, come all the way up. Then turn the front toes in and the back toes out. We're coming into triangle pose on the other side. So this right hip that was just compressed and working hard is now open to receive all of that circulation that the squeezing and the opening brings. And so just allow that to flood through that side of the pelvis. Stay rooted, stay easy. And then inhale, come all the way up. Turn your toes in, turn your back toes forward, and just step all the way back in. Bounce a little bit, stay buoyant in the body. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Step back from your blocks, so as you fold, you can bring your hands to the blocks. Take an extra breath here in this half lift. Gaze down, chin in, opening back of neck. Inhale, hips back, heart forward. And then as you exhale, step your right foot back now. And you want wide space between front foot and back. Lift the back heel, really perched up on the ball of the foot. And you can widen side to side. Start to straighten into the front knee, pyramid pose. Then, as you breathe in, shift forward into lunge. And as you breathe out, straighten the knee, pyramid pose. Inhale, bend the knee. And then exhale to straighten. I invite you to close your eyes and just rock your body back and forth with this movement. Feeling heat begin to build around the left hip. Now pause in the lunge, root down firmly through the sole of the left foot, like really stamp that foot into the ground. Then ground the back heel, place your hand on your thigh, and come all the way up. Turn the left toes in, right toes out, triangle pose so that this hip that was just compressed is now open, opening the current. So good. And just allow your breath to flood all the way down through the front of the back hip. And then inhale to rise. Come into a straddle stance. Turn your toes in about an inch, and then roll your shoulders up and back. Lift through your chest. Feel the alertness of the legs, the power of your body. And we'll take a quiet moment here, just placing a lot of listening into the center of our heart. Step your feet together. Ground down through the left foot, tree pose. So the first option is to keep your toes down and your heel at your inner ankle. Second option is to come to shin. Of course, third option is to come to inner thigh. And you'll notice in tree that there is absolutely some swaying. Of course, it's how we balance. And so instead of resisting the sway, can you surrender to it and just let your body rest in the breeze? Then plant the foot, come to the second side, go where you go. Steady your eyes if you haven't yet. It helps so much. And notice if you hold your breath or clench your jaw when things get unsteady. Just notice. We all do it in some way. And instead, can you release that to allow that free flow, no matter what, to be moving through the body? Plant the foot down, release the arms. We'll do one more round on each side. This time, draw the right knee up and in to start. Root down through your standing leg, and then draw the knee out to the side. Place the foot where it goes. You could bring your arms down, palms forward, and lift the chest here, feeling the upper back activate as the shoulder blades squeeze together. Or you could take your hands behind you and interlace to find a little bit of that back bend. And then release, raise the opposite knee. Keep the foot active and flexed, and then turn the knee out to the side. Place the foot on your standing leg. Turn the knee back forward and stand. Take a moment here to just integrate. Noticing the residues of the movements and how that feels in your body. Your strong, capable, adaptable, and fluid body. Step toward the top of your mat. Sweep the space around you, reach out and up. Then sweep the arms out and down as you fold and bring your hands to the blocks. With a long spine, chest forward. And as you exhale, slowly lower down to your knees. Find your bolster. And let's close with a restorative side bend. So place your bolster across the top third of your mat with one of your blocks about 6 inches away from it. Then coming down onto your side, we want the bolster right at your waist. And the space here between the bolster and the block is perfect for your shoulder, so there's not much weight on the shoulder. Extend your top arm overhead. If that feels too much stretch and too tight on the belly in any way, you can keep the arm draped here and just place a hand over baby, which might be really sweet. If you have a second cushion or a pillow from the bed, it might feel good to wedge it underneath your belly, especially if you're in third trimester. Know that a little bit of stretch, however, with the arm overhead is okay. We don't need to be afraid of that sensation. Just watch for sharp pain or over pulling. The side bend is helping you open up a little space for breath and vitality. You might find that it feels good to kind of lean back just a little bit, so the upper body is in a slight twist. Is there a part of you physically that can let go of any unconscious holding, any contraction? Sometimes it takes a couple minutes, doesn't it, in these restorative postures to really feel like we've completely let go. So I'm going to give you a full minute in the quiet just to have your own experience and to enjoy. Now use your top arm to help you, pushing that top hand now into the ground. And just sit up for a moment. Changing orientations, especially during pregnancy, can bring in some interesting sensations. So just pause here. And then turn over, and we'll practice the same posture on the second side. It's okay if the second side feels different. Baby is situated different moment to moment. We have different organs on left and right. And so just adjust as needed. You can explore what happens with the top arm and even leaning back a little bit so there's a bit of a twist in the upper torso. And I'll leave you for the next minute in the quiet to just experience this deep surrender in the body. Then using your free hand, press into the ground to slowly extract yourself from the posture. And just take a moment, let things settle inside. And then to close practice today, take a seat on your bolster. Wrap your thumb around your ring and pinky fingers. Your first two fingers that are free, stick them together. And then press them into the ground on either side of your hips. Feel for the sense of just plugging in here to the stability of earth. And see if you can sense that feeling of almost being rocked back and forth. Both stability and fluidity at the same time. Then slowly draw your hands together in prayer. Take a moment to share a wish, a prayer, a meditation, a few words with your baby. And I send you all the love. I send you all the support. Namaste.